more people need to play them. I don't understand why they've like disappeared. Like you're like, whoa, that's the hook of the song. But in all honesty, like beyond that, I have no idea. Like I don't know. Obviously, I'm gonna keep releasing music, and I really want to make my mark and try and carve out my own lane. And be known as like a genreless artist, just Billy. The Billy sound.
Hey, thanks for hitting play. This is the Here to Zen Podcast, your new home for music and more. We look forward to bringing you amazing interviews, reviews, and news about all the artists you love and maybe some you are yet to discover. So kick back, enjoy the ride, and welcome to the show.
What's
How are
going
you,
on?
mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Yourself? Just woke up, so I'm like, I'm ready to go. Ready for a big day.
Has there been caffeine introduced to you so far?
Chai. Caffeine does the opposite to my brain because I've got ADHD, so caffeine makes me tired. So no
Right,
caffeine in the morning.
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I've got to say congratulations on the EP. I've lived with it for a few days now, and I just love the variety in the track. So first off, congratulations.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. No, I'm glad you like it. It's kind of cool, being able to listen to it and yeah, it's funny because the tracks on the EP are so like they're like a lot older than when they're coming out. Like they're very early on, like in the evolution. But like
Yep.
I'm really excited for everyone to hear it and yeah, it's gonna be really sick. But I'm glad you like it, mate.
As you said, they're early on, which also then is going to allow the listeners to grow with you as time goes on. So clearly you've already got more bullets in the chamber ready to go, but we're going to talk about the EP.
Yeah.
When did you first really go serious in the studio and record those tracks?
Mm. That was so. I think everything first happened in around like January or so. The songs were written, so it's like a confusing timeline. So like Fly Away and Control, I'd written probably like a year before I went viral, but the
Yep.
tracks were kind of just sitting there, like with no riff or anything, just the lyrics. And I kind of like I write a song, and if the riff doesn't match, I'll just leave it, and then eventually come back to it if I come up with something else. And then I think in like December everything all like came together, like Control and Fly Away. I was in a bit of a like flow state and they all just came together. And then January, I was flying down to Sydney like a few weeks after like Fly Away blew up, and we pretty much the label dance was happening, and pretty much the tactic was to get my demos done like as soon as possible, like close the door, Fly Away, Control, all those, and the early stage versions. It was like my first time ever in a studio, like proper studio. So that was
Yep.
really exciting. And we obviously showed them to the labels and stuff and, helped get the journey on track. But it was like 6 months ago. And then ever since then, we've been like slowly adding to the tracks and updating it. And because this was just like instrumental tracking, but now we've added all the percussion and everything. But yeah, it's that one. Those tracks I've been stewing on for a while, and I'm really excited, and I'm glad you got to listen to them because yeah, it's they've been. I'm ready for people to like hear them after all the wait.
Yep. Now, I'm going to take you back. You wake up one day and there's a comment on one of your tracks from Luke Combs. What was the first words out of your mouth? And you are allowed to swear.
I screenshotted it and then I like sent it to like Maddie and stuff, and like I what actually what happened was I kept seeing Luke Combs commented, and I was like, I didn't see the comment because you can't pin comments on TikTok.
Yep.
So I just kept seeing like when Luke Combs repo or something. I was like, and I tried to look for it, and then I saw it, and then I was like, what, bro? Like I didn't even. It wasn't like it was kind of just. I didn't even know what to say. I was kind of like speechless, and I like sent it to my partner and sent it to my dad and sent it to all my friends, and like it was just. yeah, like that's when it was like I didn't even because it had already like kind of happened a little bit already, and then when that happened, and then it just and then the Bailey Zimmerman thing after that, and then it just happened again, and then it was just like, but it was insane. Like eventually, you it's like, oh, like what do we do now? Like,
Yeah,
like let's try and get the Avengers together, you know,
yeah,
like try and build them
exactly.
all. Yeah, but no, it was pretty hectic, and then he followed me as well, which was pretty awesome. But yeah, it didn't feel real because everything happened so quick.
Well, let's talk about the track. So let's go for some stories behind the songs. Tell me about Fly Away,
Fly away.
how it came to writing that and the story behind it.
Mm. Fly away was it was very in the moment, like raw. Like it, I wrote it at the start of when I started really getting into my music, which was probably like June, July of last year. And I was really down like the grunge rabbit hole. Like it I'd started, you know, listening to a lot of Eddie Vedder and Chris Cornell and stuff, and you can probably hear some of those themes echoing. And it came out, like I said, it was an earlier iteration, like it wasn't what you hear now. It was very different, those lyrics. But I just thought, you know, obviously at the time it wasn't like really about anything specific. It was like an emotion, you know,
Yep,
and a word, and like that's I kind of write like that. I'm a bit more specific now, because I'm learning how to be a better songwriter. But back then, it was a simpler time. Like
yep,
things would just come out. But yeah, obviously a lot of inspiration flowing through, and I would look at that song as you know about like without them, you know, the longing and you know like feeling hopeless and you know it's just one of those unabashed songs that you put on and you're like just like sitting there like locking in and like
yep,
but yeah that one's every time I listen to it it's like a good like flashback, you know, like it takes me back to like that song's I'm very happy that that was the one that like that went, you know, it's a very good launch pad I think. And
yep.
Uh, yeah, I still, I'm even to this day, like, I'm pretty happy with the lyrics and what came and, but yeah, it's, that track was great.
Now, the one that I'm really resonating with, so I'm going chopping and changing between, but the one that's sticking in my head is Matchbox Car. So
Oh,
tell me more about that.
hmm. That one was obviously different influence. That one, obviously, because I like to combine like multiple different things as well.
Yep,
So the grunge stuff and, you know, like the Chris Cornell thing. And then also I've got another side to me. You know, I love a lot of 80s pop music, Bryan Adams, John Mayer, Goo Goo Dolls sort of thing. And you can probably hear it, you know, like I use the tunings and, that one was, I was trying to come up with a really, like John Mary type riff, something with the thumb, something interesting, something that like
yep,
that sticks in your head. And then like I was like, I don't know, the phrase came like the head was like a matchbox car, and I was like, oh, that's pretty like niche, like like not
yep,
many songs like hit you like that. And then it kind of just it like once that phrase came, I started writing it with my friend, my good friend who's a writer with me, and he helps me now. I've got like a friend who helps me if I
yep.
like don't if I've like all right, here's this idea I've got, and then we kind of just you know go back and forth and. But yeah, that song, the riff and everything, it just that came really quick. That was recent. That was only, I'd say, like 4 months ago
Yep.
wrote that, and yeah, I showed it to Maddie and then my manager, and you know, and it was just like, whoa, like that's a bit different. And then we only actually tracked it last night, so that one's really recent. So the
Yeah.
fully fleshed version, I'm excited for people to hear that one. That one's varied. It's a great, like you said, in terms of balance. It's like control and fly away, and then just this like because it's like a snippet. I'm like trying to like leave crumbs of like, all right, where's Billy gonna go next? You know?
Yeah. That's the thing that I like about it is it doesn't have its own lane and you jump on, go for the ride. I think that's
Mm.
what makes it a special song. They're all special, but that one has stuck with me the most.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Close the door. You
Yep.
know, I I can't help but, not feel some Wanted Dead or Alive vibes there with that finger picking at the start, which it still retains its own vibe. It's not anything like it, but you do feel that atmosphere. So tell me about that track.
Yeah, yeah, there's no hiding the influence on that one. That one was I wanted a song, obviously 12 strings such a big part of my like artistry. Like I want it because that just more people need to play them. I don't understand why they've like disappeared. Like
Yep,
they're just those open tuning like 12 string like things and I wanted I had at the time this was like November that I wrote. I didn't have like a I don't know, I just wanted a 12 string riff that just like you're like, whoa, that's the hook of the song. And I did hear Wanted Dead or Alive. I'm like, all right, what can I do here?
yep,
And then I like, tried to come up with my own thing. And of course there's like the elements there. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. It's probably, I'd say my favorite song to play live. Like when I play that live, I go, oh, like, the big part in the bridge where I
yep,
go, yeah, like when I do that live, I'm like, and I go off. So that song, those lyrics came pretty quick too. Like, close the door and, close the door on me, like toxic. It's sort of a bit
yep.
of a toxic relationship. But yeah, I'm glad you like that one because that one's really sick. I hope that one gets the love that it hasn't blown up as much as the others online, but I hope that when the actual song comes out that people resonate with it because it's especially that bridge section,
Yeah.
like it's gonna be sick.
It's got a good lift, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when did Billy, the rugby player, go, hey, don't take another tackle because of you've got to play guitar? When did you go, shit, I can't risk getting hurt because I've got to play guitar?
It was a series of things. I think it took a lot because obviously football was my childhood dream and it was like a little bit of scope conditioning you would know as an Australian,
Yep,
like football, like music's not really as like encouraged, I'd say, in Australia.
yep,
And I think I've always played guitar since I was like 10 years old. And it always just came naturally. Like, my dad showed me like Pearl Jam and like he just plays a few chords and it just opened up like the rabbit hole and something just clicked and I've always played and come up with tunings but it was a hobby, like I'd just pick it up every now and then and like play around and I really like this and post a video or something. So I've been posting for a while, like even like 3, 4 years ago, but it would be just like every now and then.
yep,
Um, and then I think 2025, I moved to a new town. I moved to Mackay to play football. And I needed money, so my mate was like, "Look, you're really good. Like you should start gigging." I was like, "Nah, nah." Like I was back then, I didn't have any confidence. I was like, "Nah." It took months for him to like convince me to like do it and he like set it all up like he really really helped me like he went around to all the venues and booked me and stuff and because I didn't have like the initiative to go do it
yep,
and then I played and started getting compliments all the time and then I was like like this is interesting because football was a bit of a grind like I just never quite had that like natural like I was always like a hard worker but I never like scored 3 tries a game or anything.
yep.
um, Whereas music just came so naturally, and I was like, "This is weird." Like, you should go on The Voice. You should go on The Voice. You should go on Australian Idol. And I applied for both of them, and I got through like all the way to the end, like to the end of the audition process, and then I got turned down in
Hmm.
like June, and that really like snapped something in my head. Like I was like really angry, and then it kind of fueled me to like. I'll say like in all honesty, it wasn't like a healthy motivation at first. It was very like wanting to prove something, but it did something because it lit something in me, and I wrote in a space of a few months. I wrote like 50 to 100 songs, and
Yep,
it just I think I got injured and I had some time out and I came back and I like lost my position in the team.
yep.
And I was like, just these things kept happening and I was just like, is the universe telling me something? Like I was like, I'm making good money. doing this, everyone's telling me, I'm really good at this, and social media was doing nothing at this point, like jack
Yep.
shit. At this point, like I was like, what's the point? Like it was like paying for the boosts, and then I think around like September, October, I came back one last time to win like the grand final, like the local competition.
Yep.
And it was really cool. Like, Ben Barber was playing, and it was like all because my team in Mackay had a lot of ex-NRL players in the team, and it was like a pretty like big story like in the
Yep.
rugby league world. And we like won the competition, which was pretty cool, but it was kind of a good like send off for me. And then that was it. So from September, so in reality, from it's only been about since September that I've really like nothing else, and I really locked in and I kept posting, and then it just started talking in my videos, like check this out, I'm gonna play this song, and then people like it was like getting minor traction and like getting messages like you're about to blow up, you're about to blow up. It's like people were telling me it was gonna happen. Like I
Yeah.
was 2 or 3K followers. It's like it's about to happen, mate. Here at the beginning, like Zach Bryan, like, and then it happened,
Yeah.
and then I just yeah, like genuinely like woke up one day and like that was it. So much to get there, and then when it happens, you just it's yeah, it's been a very like strange because it's not like I've been like doing this my whole life or something, and it's like it's been this like year chunk of my life, and now it's dictated like the rest of my life. So you could to any people out there, like it does social media does work, and there is hope. You have to really like you can I can say I just work hard, but like you really can do it if you really put your mind to it and you come up with something that you believe in. So yeah, it's there's nothing else like it's just it's insane.
It's good though because your story is not only modern with the viral stuff, but it's organic because you did play pub, so you've mixed the best of both worlds.
Hmm.
Have you got any cracking pub gig stories? You know,
Yeah,
that,
I've had some pretty interesting in the Eton pub in an hour out of Mackay, in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, yeah,
yep.
yeah. Like I've got some good like sitting around like after the gigs. Oh yeah, fucking do it, mate. Like yeah, like I've been there. Like I've done all that stuff. So, um. Yeah, I got tipped like $300 once, which was pretty cool. I feel like, no, you have to, fucking do it, mate,
You know,
yeah.
if music doesn't pay off, we should get you to do a Google Translate for all the
Yeah,
pub people in
for
Australia.
Australians.
Yep.
No, but yeah, I've got some. You know what? Like looking back, like there are some pretty fun nights, like at the pubs, and like I used to get angry and like, oh, why is no one listening? And like, oh, like I used to kind of get a bit upset about it, but like looking back now, like there were some fun gigs, and I'd stay behind, and there'd be people want to have a drink with me and stuff, and but yeah, like you said, it's kind of cool because I've done all the live stuff. It
Yeah.
wasn't just like a video, and like I was 4 hour gigs 2 3 days a week, all my originals. Like I was grinding, like I was using it as like a way to practice. And so now that I do like a 30 40 minute set, it's
Yeah.
like what is this? Like it's just like it's just like so it's given me a lot of like stamina. Like to perform live. So like you said, it's really cool because I think a lot of artists, I think they might blow up, but you've got to do that live stuff too. You've got to really you've got because it's a whole different thing. Like just because you're a good singer, like that live thing, and like the nerves on stage. You play the guitar differently when you're on stage. Your
Yep.
hands more stiff, like it sounds different on that's just its whole thing. So I'm very lucky that I had all this practice playing to no one and playing to like five people and
Yeah.
yeah.
So we'll be sharing this as the EP comes out. So the beauty of the music business is it's so forward thinking that, your life tends to get planned sometimes 18 months, 2 years in advance.
Mm,
So what is Billy Vincent's 2026 and 2027 looking like?
no clue. Obviously, I'm going to America in a few months to do my first ever tour, which is insane.
Yep.
Like doesn't even feel real to be honest. Like I never even thought I'd go to America in my life, let alone do that. And then obviously, hopefully I want to play a lot more live shows and because that's what really like fills my cup is like playing live and showing the world, and giving them a good performance.
Yep.
But in all honesty, like beyond that, I have no idea. Like I don't know. Obviously, I'm gonna keep releasing music, and I really want to make my mark and try and carve out my own lane. And be known as like a genreless artist, just Billy, the Billy sound.
Yep.
But yeah, after this year, I don't know what's gonna happen. So
No,
hopefully things things keep progressing the way they're progressing.
I love that because you're the genreless artist talking to the genreless publication. So we're in the same boat, mate. Music's
Yeah.
music.
I know people want to label like it, and I used to get upset, like why don't they just that people it's people just label something because that's just what we do, and but obviously down the line I eventually want it to be, and it's going to take time. That's up to me and my records and proving myself, and but yeah, I think eventually just if you type up like John Mayer on Google or Eddie Vedder on Google, it just says songwriter, like
Yeah.
singer songwriter, rather than Billy
Yep.
so I think that's the ultimate goal. But yeah, I'm really excited for everything. Like it doesn't feel real that like this is my life now. Like I
Yep.
keep thinking there's like an end. Like all right, next year, I get this moment, and then it's because I was an athlete, so there was like an athlete mentality, like win the grand final,
Yep.
but it doesn't stop. Like it just keeps. So I'm kind of struggling with that transition because it's like constant like evolution, but it's good and it's like I've had to like adapt and change in real time. So but it's been exciting and I'm really excited to the rest of everything. And I'm really happy that you heard it and I'm glad you like it. I hope everyone else likes it too.
Look, I can see this connecting with a lot of different people in a lot of different ways because it actually doesn't have a genre. I think you'll find that people will probably take something out of each song each time they listen.
Yeah, well, that makes me happy because, like I want people to hear different things. Some people think it's country, some people think it's folk, some people think it's rock, some people think it's this, some people think it's that. I never wrote it with anything in mind. I've always played guitar and I've written songs. I didn't think of it as I want to be this, but yeah, I'm really it's people take it away. I don't even intend them to take it, and
Yep.
that's exciting because that's the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah, well, once you release it, it's no longer your song anymore. You're just the guy that wrote it and sang
Yeah.
it.
It feels weird. You don't realize that it's just out there and people are listening to it. You kind of like you have to be like reminded, like, oh shit, yeah, yeah, it's out there and people will message me about it and but it's really so I've had people say, Fly Away has helped me get through like a tough time and like that's really nice to hear things like that. So yeah.
Awesome, Billy. I'm going to let you go. So now's your time to be the salesman, not the musician. Let everyone know where they find you.
All right. Billy V Music on Instagram, Billy dot Billy Vincent 28 on TikTok, but just type up Billy Vincent, it should come up. But yeah, Billy Vincent. I've been told it's a pretty good name, but I don't I don't it's just a shame, but yeah, I am come to the show, book tickets, it'll be sick. But yeah, I go listen to music as well on Spotify.
Awesome, Billy. Thanks for your time, man. I really look forward to catching you when you're in Brizzy next.
Yeah, thanks Andrew. Cheers, brother.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Zen Podcast. Make sure you don't miss an episode. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a thing. Listen to us on the go. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all your favorite podcast platforms. And get social. Follow the journey by searching Zen on all social media. Another way to support the show is to leave a rating or review. It helps other fans find out about us. Thanks for tuning in and see you next time.